Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. Andrew Rivers is coming up next.
The Bob and Zip Show with Nick Kelly.
Coming to us from only 15 minutes away from where I'm sitting in a hotel in downtown Seattle. It's Uber Eats greatest customer, comedian Andrew Rivers. You didn't.
Wow,
you didn't
what a great introduction.
You didn't listen to the whole podcast, did you?
No, I just joined in that last couple minutes.
Okay.
I showed up on time when you told me to, assuming you'd be 15 minutes late, so I'm right on time.
Well, I'm such a terrible parent that I would never expect my kids to be able to do anything accurately. So there you are. Yes.
Well, I'm glad you're self-aware.
Thank you. So,
it's good to talk to you.
And I did let everyone know I was in Seattle for a quick sneak attack visit with you, and Spike and Joe, and I am hiding from everybody else. But I told them the story about discovering Uber Eats, which was just fantastic. I had them come again today. Yeah, and that's your wife.
You're really
basically.
like scared of TMZ holding up in the hotel room.
Oh no, it's not that. No.
Just running away from the paparazzi.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, this is your town, man. You can't come in Seattle without you're like the Beatles, you know.
Well, but thank you. I feel like I feel everyone I would like to see, I would have to come for a month, and so I can't do that. But here we are. Andrew, what you up to?
Yes. Oh, just went for a big hike today. I sent you some info. I don't know if you heard, but there's this bug going around. So, try to keep the lungs in shape.
Don't you heard.
That's, by the way, that's one of the things science says you should do is exercise and give your immune system a boost and get the blood pumping so that if you catch it, you're in good shape. So that's good. And you hiked where today?
Mount Si, the giant mountain there. And,
wow.
It was really cool. There's a cool thing going on. There's a weather inversion because Snoqualmie Valley is covered in fog, so the weather is warmer on top of the mountain than on the bottom.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. It's kind of like hooking up with a fat chick. Like at first you're like, I'm gonna climb on top of this thing. It's not gonna be good. But then you're done. You're like, that's actually pretty cool. You start with 3 layers, and by the end you're naked. It's an uplifting joke. It's not mean to them. I think that.
Do you always go with a lot of pictures
fun
afterward too, with a fat chick? Andrew?
Yeah.
Are you serious, Andrew?
You share them on social media with all your friends.
Andrew,
bold.
I can't believe you don't have a girlfriend with that Cro-Magnon fucking attitude.
It's a positive. I'm saying you should give them a shot.
Oh,
yes.
I'm sure.
He's endorsing riding the wild whale.
By the way, I don't know this guy. He was probably some other guy's kid. No, I'm ashamed of you for saying that's terrible.
But listen, hiking's fun because my favorite thing to do. I stop by the nature store on the way.
And
I'm not REI, but
you got to get the audience of your dad back here. You got to come up with something good.
the CBD store,
Yeah, okay.
And then it's like a reward when I get to the top. I can appreciate nature a little bit extra.
Sure.
Well, for me, like
the greens are greener.
Yes, absolutely.
The pine cones are conier. It's awesome.
Yeah, super.
Again, hold on a
empathetic
second. Again, gals, he's lonely. Don't you want a guy like him? He's certainly not virtue signaling, that's for sure.
Hell no.
All right, go ahead. I'll leave you alone now.
No, you're on top of a mountain and you're a little, wacky, and you go, whoa, there's like a bajillion people down there. I'm so insignificant. None of my problems matter. It's beautiful. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
You're like, I'm so glad I don't live in
groundhog
Ohio.
next to you tells you
lots of gratitude.
Groundhog next to you tells you to come back to your senses. It's not a real big thing. Everybody gets high up here. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That's funny.
There's actually a bunch of studies on marijuana the last 2 years, and I've done a bunch of my own research also, but
Sure
they say marijuana is habit forming, so that if you combine it with a good habit, marijuana can almost make you addicted to that good habit. Like the article was about people that smoke and then exercise.
Right.
And if they find they do it together, it becomes a positive thing. And plus it helps with your focus. You can go to the gym and jam out to Metallica or whatever, and then plus you're counting your reps. You forget where you're at and you start over. So it's like twice the workout.
That's a good one.
You're onto something here, Andrew. I mean, you're onto something.
telling you.
Say you only smoke meth after you wait a minute. Say you only smoke meth after you run 10K, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Then if you smoke meth and run 10K every day, you're gonna smoke your way to an Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, meth does make you skinny. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except that meth doesn't say, "Whoa, let's relax now." It doesn't say that.
Well, let's work out again.
If you
That was
dig
fun.
if you dig a bunch of potholes in your front yard and in your forearm, you can get a lot of exercise that way.
All right.
Just don't smile
Well,
up
in
on the
the
podium when
past-
they hand you your medal. No teeth and stuff. It's
Yeah.
awful.
Well, a lot of stoners mostly just get good at their Xbox habits, but when you make it, a legal thing, people can enjoy it. And there was also another weed study that said in a lab, CBD will prevent COVID infection.
Ah.
And this is the one everyone's been talking about the last couple weeks. And yeah. Did you see that one, Spike?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
They put CBD into a petri dish or whatever lab equipment they use, and the COVID viruses fled from the CBD.
Wow.
I'm a little less sure about this study, because I think at best stoners just don't know they have COVID. What are the COVID
cough all
symptoms?
the
You
time.
feel lethargic, you cough, you can't taste anything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's me every night, How else do you think I choke down 16 Doritos Locos tacos? But I think stoners are low risk for COVID because they just don't go anywhere,
Right.
You call up your stoner buddies. You want to come to a bar with a bunch of people you don't know? Man, I would, but Netflix just put out a new documentary on bees. I got to stay home,
That's
man.
good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There's lots
Is
of
there- hold on a
research.
second.
Yeah.
What's it called?
What's what called?
The new
bee
documentary on bees. I'm always looking for Netflix hints.
I don't know. I've only seen the one
It's called
with Seinfeld a couple years
Buzzed. Come
ago.
on, man.
Hey.
It's a stoner bee documentary. It's called Buzzed. Come on. Shit writes itself.
Well, it's tons of cool research. That's by the way, my number one thing I hate about the last year is the phrase "I've done my own research" has been ruined.
Yeah.
Right? Because every time someone says they've done their own research, I immediately know that they almost certainly did not do any research. No, I listened to Joe Rogan. It doesn't really count. The problem is there's not a way to let people know succinctly that you actually know what you're talking about, right? You have to be no, my YouTube guy has a British accent and charts. It's way different.
That's perfectly done. Yes. John Campbell
But,
plug right there. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, absolutely.
He also has something else that you can't see on YouTube, which is a master's degree and decades of studying. But
Hey, but while we're laughing at Andrew's jokes, and they are funny, but the National Library of Medicine has a study that says cannabinoids block cellular entry of SARS-CoV-2 and emerging variants. That's real. People who smoke weed are more they have better defenses against COVID.
Here's another one
right.
that's real.
Your lungs, yeah.
Apparently, we can transmit this to animals. They put down a bunch of ferrets that were shipped because they had caught COVID from people.
Yeah. There's a research out of Massachusetts. They did a study that 40% of white-tailed deer have COVID antibodies.
Yeah, I heard that.
And they're working on a new study with bears. Actually, they want to test hibernating bears, which you wonder why there's a fucking worker shortage. Hey, go stick this Q-tip up that
Up the
bear's
bear's
ass.
nose.
Get a pregnancy test and
Swirl
back
around the
and
bear
let us
nostril
know.
10 times each side.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah,
swirl it
yeah,
10
yeah.
times each side, the bear's nostril.
dear. Oh, bother. I don't want to go to work.
I don't care how high the minimum wage gets.
But yeah, I don't know. Kind of a crazy week. Bob Saget passed away.
Yeah.
And
You
it
met
was
him,
tough.
right?
Yeah. It feels like I lost a father figure because I was mostly raised by the TV. So,
Damn.
That was a sad story. I loved him.
just a
Loved him to
joke,
death. Yeah.
You
yeah,
did
he
it.
was
Okay.
very kind to me, and he signed my book and stuff. So his advice was just be a tank, keep going, no matter how many jokes your dad doesn't laugh at. Just keep writing. And keep
Don't let
going.
it get you down, kid.
I know. I can't believe I'm like my mom was now. You don't have to do that kind of material, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I like most of what you do, but those dirty jokes.
How are you going to
swear
meet a
words,
nice
Bob.
girl with a joke like that?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was thinking about that phrase, because it's weird how you can have a father figure, like you're raised by music or comedians or radio show hosts.
Yeah.
Like you guys get raised by the television in a way, because
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yep. I was a
Do
latchkey
you have
kid.
anyone in particular that you feel like gave you a great lesson, and or do you just
lots.
pick up little things? Yeah.
Lots of different mentors. Yeah.
Captain Kangaroo. Yeah.
Well, Kirk and Spock really actually first introduced the concept of logic and cowboy craziness at the
And
same
I'm
time.
so sad.
You're not wrong, man. You're
No,
not wrong.
absolutely.
The morals, the moral lessons of Star Trek. A lot of people.
And Gilligan's Island
Yeah.
introduced the idea that the fuck up could actually be fun and funny and the star of the show.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you bring up Star Trek too, because that teaches you all sorts of lessons, like space is lonely, and if you love Star Trek, so is Connecticut. That can be
Touche. All right, you made up for you made up for the weight fat shaming joke, which I don't.
who doesn't weigh very much in space. All right.
That chick.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Andrew,
All
don't,
right, Andrew.
don't try that at the treehouse, by the way. That's
All right.
Yeah. Well, let me just close with this kind of thing, because you guys talked about, Encanto last week on the podcast, the movie we watched with
The
Keith.
Disney movie, yeah. And by the way, my
Yeah.
sister Spike, my sister said when she heard you talking about it, she went and watched it. And she just loved you for, talking about how good the story was, and
Yeah.
she fell in love with it. And she's
Wonderful. I'm so glad.
No, you turned her onto it. Go ahead,
I
Andrew.
appreciate that.
It is. Yeah, it is a great movie, and I've actually enjoyed more kids' movies than movies for adults this year. Like,
Does that have something to do with your cannabis consumption?
I was going to say the same thing, man.
that
Tom and Jerry shit is awesome.
yeah.
And I'm COVID free. Yeah.
Well, they're also like uplifting messages, like it's good. Speaking of being raised by the TV, these Disney movies have a lot of influence for kids, but they're all good messages. It makes me feel good. Like, hey, you're still a good person even if you can't lift 6 donkeys, and
Yes.
even the strongest people need help
Right.
sometimes. Like,
That's
those are
right.
great
Right.
nuggets for kids that they don't know that they're learning.
That's right.
And plus, with a kids movie, you have to be more clever. You can't do a bunch of fat jokes or whatever. You have to make the jokes really good.
that's good for you to learn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could take a hint, but like I saw like the movie on Netflix, Don't Look Up, that everyone's talking about, and
Yes.
it just did nothing for me because it's hard to parody real life. Like.
Yeah.
Wow, the
you're
president's
right.
an idiot. There's a giant meteor about to hit Earth, and the president told you to drink bleach. This feels more like a documentary. Than anything. Like, it doesn't feel like
Exactly.
like a
It's beautiful. Yes.
yeah. But anyway, I aspire to be a stepfather figure to many women. So
All right, Andrew. You're redeemed. I love you. You got some great.
thank you so
You got
much.
some great chit there, as Cheech and Chong would say. God bless everybody. I'm going to try and avoid the storm cyclone. And yeah.
One other thing, I did get. I haven't gotten COVID, I don't think, but I think it's because I'm vaccinated. I got that one with the 2 names on it. The,
Johnson and Johnson. Yes.
No, Cheech and Chong.
Oh, Cheech and Chong vaccine.
Hey, you don't knock it till you try
Whoa,
it,
man. Yeah. Sorry, you set me up for.
All right. God bless everybody. Wish me luck beating the storm. By the time you hear this, the storm will have fizzled out, or President Biden will have drawn some magic marker and sent it somewhere else on the weather map. I don't know what's going to happen.
A Twitter headline said New York City's expecting 2 to 20 inches. So they're really
Of what,
covering all
snow?
the bases. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 to
Oh, so
20.
it-
yeah, that's great.
They call it
That's what I put on my dating
bombogenesis?
profile.
I really don't know how much Astroglide to buy if you tell me that. I really don't.
20 inches. Be safe. Get the barrel.
Okay.